Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. That's right, I homeschool. My name is Mrs. T. This is the second video that I'm filming, so you might notice some clothes that are and lovely frizzy hairstyles that are identical to another video, but I just couldn't resist. Today I want to talk to you guys about a book that I've been dying to give more information to you all about, and that is JoEllen McCarthy's Layers of Learning. So go ahead, grab a cup of whatever. I'm going to give you a lot of details, and let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So originally I was going to do like a 3-minute snapshot video, but the thing is with this book is there is so much to it, and there's so much good in this piece of curriculum that I really didn't want to gloss over anything. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Let's go ahead and just talk about it. So we are using this in our pre-K, I'm not going to say class, but our pre-K years, but we're not only using it in pre-K. In fact, this book is not specifically meant for any grade level. It's meant for children between K and I think it was like 6th grade. I probably should have confirmed that. Yeah, K through 6th grade. This book is really good. To me, it is social and emotional learning through literature. It's just a really unique book. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I have my notes here that I will be referring to, and I will also flip you around to show you the pages in depth. All right, so when I go through this, there is actually inside the book itself, there are a couple of chapters and a number of pages that are all about this book, like details regarding the goals, how it's set up, how to implement it, that I really can't explain all of it in just a couple of minutes. But I can give you an overview of what I wanted to highlight as 2 of the really amazing goals that this book has. The first goal of this book is to help your child or your student create a connection. It says to develop a connection and a sense of belonging to a community of learners. So one of the things that this book really focuses on is connecting to other people, both in activities that you're doing, as well as like with actual characters. So you're going to see a very diverse number of books. You're also going to be seeing a number of activities that do typically require more than one student. But I will say these are things that you can make easy tweaks to fit a multi-grade level homeschool classroom or homeschool room. It can also be something that you can tweak to involve family members, so you can do things with the family, call up grandma and grandpa, do some interviewing. There are a lot of things. This could even be implemented in a co-op. So there definitely are a lot of benefits to this program to be able to have some sort of connection to other students or people while going through it. The second goal that I really wanted to highlight of this program is for your students to acquire the necessary social and emotional learning skills, attitude, and courage to promote self-care and compassion. So the goal of this program is not just to understand the writing components of these pieces of literature. It is really to develop a healthy self-care, self-love, and a love and respect for others. And the way that they do this is JoEllen McCarthy picked, I think it's over like 200 books. They have a number of what are called heart print books. These are going to be the books that we are focused on, and we're going to kind of go through an example of this. But she picks a number of texts that illustrate the connected nature and overlapping relationships, I want to get this right, between the minds, the hearts, and what she calls the hands. So the idea here is we don't just read a piece of literature and move on. You're reading these books that speak to your mind. They get you thinking. They speak to your heart. They get you, feeling compassion, empathy, and then they speak to your hands. It makes you want to do something. You know what I mean? It is she was very particular You can tell that the JoEllen McCarthy spent a lot of time and money investing into finding these amazing books that she has curated for this program. The other thing that she says is the goal of these Heartprints books is to leave footprints on our hearts and lasting impressions on our learning communities. So again, the idea here is you're not reading a book and moving forward and never remembering, right? The idea is you're having these really in-depth discussions, you're doing these activities, and they're going to be memorable. They're meant to be something that makes you feel a sense of connection. So the way that it's broken down is they have 4 main topics. They're called care topics. The C stands for community, A stands for agency, R for respect, and E is empowerment. And underneath these topics, there are 15 subtopics, or I think she calls them Heartprint layers, that dive into the topic itself. So I'm going to actually flip you around now. We are going to take a look specifically at a community topic, and we are going to be going through the outline, the format of this program, and looking at the details. Before I do that though, I just want to specify that this book is meant for a classroom, so you will see classroom specific activities. Again, these are things that are easily tweakable. I don't know if that's a word. These are things that you can easily modify. Modifiable, that one is a real word. And I don't want you to be afraid as a homeschooling parent to not take this book because it's meant for a classroom, because there's just so much good that can come from it and a lot of amazing conversations that I feel like are very important to have. Anyway, let's go ahead now and flip you around, and I'm going to show you all of the details. Okay, so we are going to be looking at the very first community topic here, and we're going to be looking at the celebrating names and identities. So every single subtopic is going to come with a book called a Heartprint book that has been specifically selected to support this subtopic, which supports this main care topic. You're going to get in the top here information about the book. So we'll give a very small, it's usually a paragraph long, summary of the book, and it talks a little bit about how the characters grow and develop in the book, but on a very high level. You'll also get a little sneak peek preview a lot of the times, showing you kind of the art style within the book. Underneath, you are going to be going into our life layers section. This section offers discussion points to tie into or to have after you read this book with your child. Now, one of the things that I want to point out are the books are specifically curated and chosen to drive conversations that emphasize its care element while evaluating interpretations of equity, diversity, and unity. So a lot of these discussion points can be a little bit tough. So here we have our discussion possibilities. In this section, we're going to be talking a little bit about the story behind our names and how the story can reveal more about who each person is, their background, their family, their culture, and traditions, and so forth. Underneath this life layers section, we then go into our literacy connection section. And in the literacy connection section, we will see this little table. We're going to have a column here where you are going to be evaluating the book as a reader, and this column here where your child is going to be evaluating the book as a writer. These connections are going to include teaching points and connection ideas for layering in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So you're going to be evaluating, let's just actually take a look. So in here, in this section, we're going to be making inferences. So it says, readers notice how a writer reveals characters through feelings, traits, motivations, actions, and dialogue to support inferences. Reflect on lines that reveal more about Anjali, as when she blinks back tears. So you're going to be really diving into reading comprehension through these different, goals. So synthesizing, making inferences, and using prior knowledge.
You also have, again, this section where you are then evaluating the book as a writer. So writing about experiences, showing rather than telling, right? The author doesn't say Anjali is sad. Anjali is blinking back tears. She's showing the sadness without explicitly stating it. And then using writers as mentors for revision. So what you and your child or your children are going to do and how you're going to evaluate it really depends on your child's age, their development as a reader, their development as a writer, and where they are. And it's perfect if you have a family with multiple children. So you could be focusing on just basic reading comprehension with your preschooler, for example, whereas maybe your lower elementary student who's just really focusing on reading can evaluate that as a reader, while your more mature student can really dive into that writing portion as well. Or perhaps you'll even want to circle back time and time again, visiting the same books with your same developing student. Okay, now we're going to go over to this page here. This is the literacy snapshot section. These are going to include ideas to adopt or adapt that support this topic. So this is where you're going to note a lot of classroom specific ideas that, again, I think can be easily modifiable to fit, again, single families, single students, or multi-student families. So in this case, your students are illustrating, writing, or sharing and honoring the stories of their names. It goes into a little example here. And then we have a little sample as well that kind of shows how younger students can study letter sounds associated with their names while celebrating the stories of their own unique names. So these are just some very basic ideas on how you can take it a little further. But we have the continuing conversations. These are additional heartprint connections, in other words, usually 3 books that also celebrate and focus on the same theme. So we have additional literature over here. So in this case, we have 3 book recommendations: Alma and How She Got Her Name, The Favorite Daughter, and My Name is Aviva. And so you can tie these books into this topic and do a little bit of compare and contrast. You can drive the idea home a little bit more by exposing more literature. And there are a bunch of different other ways that you can implement it, but it's very open-ended. It's up to you as the parent and the teacher to figure out if you want to bring in these other books. And then at the very bottom here on this page, we're going to be doing our continuing connections. This is more layers for learning together. And this is going to talk about, it really varies actually per topic, but this is going to give you as the teacher or parent some more information, some ideas on how you can include maybe other classes. So in that case, maybe other family members, extended family. In here, in this example, it says to invite staff members to explore the power of relationships with students and getting to know them beyond their names, using Donald Graves' work from the Energy to Teach to create a chart that helps staff members identify individual students' names, their likes and dislikes. Now, this is your child. Obviously, you know your child's name. You know some of their likes and dislikes. You don't need to do this. But we have down here, try this. We have people bingo. You could create people bingo where you create different, you can create a bingo board, for example, that has different things that people might like to do, like love to read, has a favorite illustrator, speaks more than one language. And then your child can be challenged to find these people and then hear a little bit about their own stories, their own names as they go through their own bingo card. So they can make connections with their friends, their family members, etc. Okay, let's go ahead and flip you around again and we'll do our final wrap up.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for bearing with me. I definitely know that I need to work out my overhead recording game, so thank you for bearing with that. Once again, this is the Layers of Learning book that we've been talking about by JoEllen McCarthy, and the current retail price for it is here on the screen. It is definitely worth it, you guys. Please go ahead and comment down below. Let me know, are you using this program? Are you considering using this program now that you've seen this flip through? What are your thoughts? Because honestly, I was just blown away. I had not seen anything like this out there. And to me, it was the thing I was looking for that I didn't know I was looking for until I saw it, if that makes sense. All right, now before you go, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm a brand new channel. I'm growing and I would love that support. All right, you guys, I will talk to you soon. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.